All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. We're going to be talking about FSBOs today. So let me know, who do we got with us? Who do we got with us? I'm going to put a link. If you are a client and you want to log in and do some of the stuff with me, that'd be awesome. And I'm telling you, if you've been following what we're doing with expireds, what we do with open houses, our tools, our emails, our text messages for your database, the FSBOs is as good as all of that stuff. The only thing with FSBOs is there's not a ton of them, but the tools that we've got, and I look at all the tools across the industry, no one's got anything close to what we have at Listings to Leads to help you convert FSBO homeowners. So we're going to talk through it today. It's going to be fast paced. It's going to be recorded. It will be available on our YouTube channel, which I will point out towards the end of the call. And hello from beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. All right. And is it Randa Hammond? Good to see you. Thank you. Robert, Cape Cod. I've never been there. That's one of the few places I've not been to in the US. I've been to Boston. That's about as far northeast. I've never been to Maine. So regardless, let's get at it. Auburn, Carla, you're killing me. Auburn, California, one of the most beautiful parts of the country. I might be a little bit jaded, but regardless, log in if you want to. Make sure you download the case study that we just published. If you click that on the pop-up, this is actually a landing page from Listings to Leads. I'll just walk through it real quickly here. So this is from my agent account and Listings to Leads. Pick which best represent you. So I got a download or a drop down right there. Then you're going to enter your name, your email, and I have a custom field, your brokerage name. There is no such thing as L2L Realty, but I just pretend there is. I did a redirect to our blog where clicked it twice. Put a little video right there with her. Start a free trial. We got the case study right here. So take a look at that a little bit later. For the case study, I did a video, just sort of sharing some different ideas with people. But for the case study, what I did is we recorded a video with Gwen. I took the transcription, threw it into Gemini and ChatGPT. I liked what Gemini gave me better. So I took that, I did some editing with it, threw that into Gamma. And then from Gamma, I got what I would consider a rough draft, but Gamma was giving me all of these goofy pictures, like worse than stock photos. So I then took Gwen's profile photo from her Facebook page, and I uploaded that into ChatGPT with all of the stock photos from Gamma. And I said, use her face. All right. So use my client's face, Gwen, and just take these images I'm going to upload and put her face on them. All right. And so then ChatGPT gave me all of these photos, which I put in here, which I think look way better than what Gamma was giving me. And then Gamma, although I look funny, I don't know. Do I look like that? Somebody said I look like Scott Bessent, which I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, Gamma, the formatting and everything. So I then gave it to one of my design people who just tightened it up, made it look a little bit nicer. And then that was the final result right here. Yeah, just a little bit of a background on how I did that, because I think it was something. It took me in total, about 2 hours maybe from grabbing the transcript, running it through, throwing it into Gamma, creating the images, creating the landing page, creating the blog post where people would redirect to download the case study. So all of that took about 2 to 3 hours. It looks like a comedian that I can't think of the name. Oh, yeah, yes. You likely got an email with that as well. one of the 3 things that she talks about that she does, expired open houses, and the email and text messages that we deliver every week or 2. I believe we're working on one today. You're gonna get an email, you'll see them in the mastermind group, but I also put them on the pop-up when you log in. And so it says here, click here to access this marketing pack. If you haven't gotten this out yet, expireds and FSBOs are a subset of seller leads. So you're going to want to make sure that you are using these. And so if I click here, it'll take me to where, and I'm not going to go through this in detail right now, but get to the mastermind group, ask us questions. A lot of you should know how this works by now once you've done it a couple of times, but we have a text message for your seller leads. We have a text message for your buyer leads. We got social media posts and Instagram stories, and we got emails that you can send out. You can send the emails through Lofty, through Follow Up Boss, through Listings to Leads, right? Whatever program. Stephen Colbert, you guys are Steve. Oh my God. All right. You know what? Stop. Oh, you guys are killing me. I love it. Thank you so much for the, when I was younger, I used to get called Ben Affleck, Tom Cruise. Who was the other one? Somebody else too. When I was younger, and Cary Grant, come on, when I had less gray hair. All right, let's get into it with, oh, thank you so much for that. Who is this? It's so funny. We got a number of clients in Baton Rouge. Gwen Dorsey, the star of that case study, is from Baton Rouge. So yeah, Baton Rouge. I got to get, yeah, I've been to New Orleans, but I've never been to Baton Rouge, home of Duck Dynasty. Aren't they out of there as well? Oh, Brian McKay. Yeah. Many of you want to see some really good ideas for social media, follow this guy right here. He's got great stuff on, I think he's doing TikTok and Instagram, but he's really good. I would definitely want to check him out if I was an agent looking for ideas on social media. He does some really good stuff. So check out Brian right there. But yeah, Brian, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. All right. So FSBOs, here's the thing. You're going to, in fact, you know what? I can't believe I didn't do this. Let me bring this up. We have a domain, FSBO, listingstoleads.com/FSBO. So if you're watching the recording, just again, go to listingstoleads.com/FSBO, and you're going to land on this page right here. And there's a video. All right. So we have landing pages. We've got PDF guides. And we've got a 100+ point home marketing plan that hopefully this is still, oh, awesome. Check this out. The complete marketing plan for sale by owner. All right. Prepared for Ken Franklin. So it's got, that's his home. That's his name. That's his address. And this would be a phenomenal thing to deliver to a FSBO homeowner that is like 30 to 60 days on the market. Okay. We're going to want to make sure that we've engaged them maybe a little bit before that, if possible, because we don't want to come out of the gate trying to, hey, let me list your home. One of the ways that you could actually deliver this to them would be, man, and I've got to post somewhere, but it is to deliver it to them as, here are some ideas on how I market homes that I list for sale as a professional real estate agent. And I just wanted to give this to you to give you some ideas. And that way you're giving it to them in a way that is not confrontational, that is not like, I'm trying to list you, but what's going to happen is they're going to look at this and go, how am I supposed to do all of this? Like, really? Like, I'm supposed to do all of this, right? In addition, we've got a few other tools, which I'll be talking about as well. So first things first is we want to identify the FSBO homeowners. And we're going to go to landing pages. I would say step 1, I would say go to landing pages, create landing page, and let's create a FSBO landing page, because with a FSBO landing page, we're going to get emails. We can send it to them via text message. We've got print flyers. We got postcards, right? We have a lot of ways to get this landing page in front of them. And what this landing page is going to do is offer that FSBO homeowner a complete set of marketing tools for absolutely free for them to use to market their home. This is one of the best ways to approach a FSBO where you're providing value, you're offering them solutions, you're not trying to tell them they're stupid for trying to sell their own property. All right. In the beginning, I think initially what we want to do is support them, support the decision that they have made. All right. Nobody lists their home as FSBO, just waking up out of bed and going, you know, I think I'm going to list my home as FSBO. All right. They got preconceived ideas about agents. They don't think you're worth the money. All right. They don't think you're worth the time. They don't think that you can do anything better than they can do. And so we don't want to encourage it, but we don't want to fight that battle. All right. We just want to win their hearts. All right. Win the hearts of these FSBOs. And what we're going to walk through right now is going to be a major step towards that. So I'm going to create this landing page called FSBO, right there, FSBO. And I'm going to create it for Baton Rouge. Tone, ROUGH, create landing page. And I could have done greater Baton Rouge area, metropolitan, whatever, right? I could have done Louisiana. And so check this out. Selling your Baton Rouge home on your own. Get free professional versions of all the tools that I use to sell homes. Select the marketing tools. Everything here is customizable. The background, the list of offered tools, the image on the left-hand side, the color of the button, everything here you're seeing is customizable. But check how this works. So the work now, and again, and check out that domain, Baton Rouge FSBO selling tools. It's amazing. Right here, that is so powerful. We've got e-flyers that you can send that are all ready for you. I'll show you if I go to marketing tools. So we got social media posts. We have an e-flyer. Let that pop up there. We got an e-flyer that you can send them. So if you got a service like Vulcan 7, RedX, My Plus Leads, any of these kinds of services, right? You'll get their phone number. You're going to get their email. You could look on Craigslist. You could look on Facebook Marketplace. You could look on Zillow, right? There's a lot of ways to be able to go after and find the FSBOs in your area. And so we got this e-flyer. We got a script. We got print flyers, which would be, to be honest, my favorite is the print flyer. Either you mail it to them or you door knock. Look at that. Baton Rouge FSBO selling tool. I'm going to take out my phone. I'm going to scan that QR code. I love scanning QR codes. And boom. Right there. Check that out. You may or may not be, it might be a little fuzzy, but that's just a landing page on mobile. So we literally created this landing page on mobile, or I'm sorry, we created the landing page and all the tools in 5 seconds? It literally takes 5 seconds. And we now have a full marketing suite of tools to engage. And whatever image we use for the background of the landing page will appear here. So let's do this. Before I show you the tools, check out how this works. So we identify a FSBO. What I would do is I would reach out to them and I would just say, and this is whether it's Kelly Wheeler, we have other people, and I see other people converting FSBOs with this method, is you just call them up and you say, hey, I see that you're selling your home as FSBO. That's phenomenal. And I wanted to offer you a free set of marketing tools to get your home sold. I'm going to send you something via email. And if you want to take advantage of it, just go ahead and click the link and I can get them over to you a little bit later this afternoon. And if they ask you, why in the world would you do that? Your response is going to be something along the lines of, this is just something I provide homeowners in the area. All right. I'm a real estate agent, but I want to support the decisions that homeowners in this area make. And if you're determined to sell your home as FSBO, I respect that. That's absolutely fine. And these tools are absolutely free and they're the same ones that I use, right? That is going to be awesome. So they get your print flyer, they get the email, they get the text message with the link to the landing page. They open it up. They select a couple of items here that they want from you. And again, I can add items, I can take away items. So this list is completely customizable. And I'm going to say my name is Brian K. Mac. I'm doing this for a reason at gmail.com. And I'm going to use there's a method to my madness here. So just watch how this works. I'm going to do a phone number 415. I'll do 444-1234. So I got set 10 digits. Check this out. Do you have photos of your property? Yes or no? Actually, I do have photos of my property. And I am going to find and upload. I got to make this folder on my computer easier to find. I got way too many things on my desktop. So I'm just going to upload the one photo. I can upload as many photos as I want. Send images. The address carries over 95630. Price, I'm going to just, again, I'm the FSBO homeowner, right? So as a FSBO homeowner, I'm just like, oh, this is awesome, right? Single family home, 4 bedrooms, 2 full bath, 1 half bath. All right. I can add features. I can add property description. This better be free or else, right? Just having a little bit of fun there. So check out what happens. Check out what happens. When I go to listings, I am going to find that Brian McKay, boom, 345 Raymond Lane, Folsom, California, FSBO draft. Check this out. Hold on a second here. I'm going to show you the email that I, as the agent, that I got. Maybe. Let's see. Let me refresh here we go. All right. So I just got the notification right there. Brian McKay just requested the free marketing tools from my Baton Rouge FSBO landing page. These are the tools he requested. All right. I got his name. I got his email. I got his phone number. Now the problem is going to be, how do I get them to him? All right. How do I get these tools to this FSBO homeowner? It's awesome. I'm going to click on it, click on the address. And what do I see? I'm going to go to, marketing tools. This is the email. It's all ready. All I have to do is approve it. And here's the thing. We're going to send them everything, right? We're going to send them everything. We're going to send them the Facebook post, a script, the property website, right? Property website. Look at that. 345 Raymond Lane, worldsbestlisting.com. Everything is ready to go. I can approve it. So I can click approve. There's a green button right there, approve. And it says, yes, approve and send email. Boom. So somebody at mckay@gmail.com is going to get an email. They're like, what the hell are you doing, dude? But anyway, so the homeowner is now going to get that email. What would be smart is for me to call him up, right? And I might even want to call him up before I approve it and just say, hey, Brian, I got your request for the free tools. I'm excited to get them over to you. Just want to confirm that we got the correct email, right? Make sure everything is good here. And yeah, great, perfect. I'm going to approve it in the next few minutes. So look for the email. And if you have questions, just let me know. For absolutely free, with literally 30 seconds of work on my part, I was able to deliver that FSBO homeowner a complete set of marketing tools for them to now market their home. And people do this. People establish relationships with a FSBO homeowner. 90% of the time, they do not get the property sold on their own. And then who do they call? They're going to be calling you. So this is absolutely one way, right? Beautiful. Your name as the agent will not be on here. All right. Notice right here, it's Brian McKay@gmail, phone number that they entered. That's why I want to make sure I touch base and confirm all the information. That's his home. I didn't have to upload photos. I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do, I got notified, whether I'm on my phone or on a laptop. I log into listings to leads. I check it out. I approve it. And then I just stay in contact every week or so. All right. If they ever call me and say, hey, can you send me this or can you send me that? Not a problem. All right. I can send you, all the tools are right here. So if they say, hey, can you send me the email again? Or can you send me the property website again? Or can you send me this or that? It's all right there. So you've got the ability to continue that relationship with them using these free set of marketing tools for that FSBO homeowner. All right. If I go back to, there's no silly questions, just stupid ones. No, I'm joking. Scott, silly question. How the homeowner can use that free tool, because they're going to get an email, and the email that they get from us will have all the tools in it. So they'll just click, so they can, for example, the social media post with the link to the property website, if they just copy it and paste it into Facebook. The print flyers, they just click and it downloads the print flyer right from the email. The single property website, they just click the link and it's right there. The short form video script is just right there. Right now, one of the things I might do is I might call them up and check with your broker if you need to. There might be some places where you're not allowed to, for example, do a video for a FSBO. And if you're able to, that might be one of the things that you offer that's like a little bit above and beyond, but it would still be great content. So Brian does a lot of great stuff with video. And again, I don't know what the regulations are in Brian's area, but the benefit to Brian of doing a video regarding a FSBO, especially if they're going to, and one of the questions I always want to ask is, and they usually say yes, is if I bring you a buyer, will you pay 2.5% buyer's commission? 80% of the time they say yes to that, from my experience in talking to people. That is a question. I'm not going to ask that as a condition of getting the free tools, but after I give them the tools, after we have a nice conversation and I say, hey, you know what? I do work with buyers. Are you paying a 2.5% commission for the buyer's agent if somebody brings you a buyer? And like I said, 80% of the time I've talked to people, the FSBO homeowner says yes to that. All right. No, Carla, it all comes in the same email. It all comes in the same email. My first listings were FSBOs, but often do open houses and market it for free. This is awesome. Miriam, 100%. Yeah. Again, yeah, offer to do an open house, because then you got all the tools and listings to leads that you can go after the neighbors. You can go after their sphere of influence. We know what the tools for the seller. You can do the marketing for it. I would want to make sure that I've seen the house before I agree to an open house sight unseen. I don't want to be stuck in some hoarder's home. But again, I think, and that could be one of the things, for example. All right, Miriam, check this out. Let's go back to landing pages and let's go to that landing page. All right, so I'm going to use filter by type, FSBO, Baton Rouge. So I'm going to click edit. And let's see here, under lead form. So under where it says tools, check this out. Open house hosting, right? Maybe, I don't know how you want to frame that exactly. All right. Save. Boom. Open house hosting. Easy. Make sense? And Miriam, I've been a customer of L2L for several years. You are great. Miriam, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So are we good on the landing page? I can change the background image, right, if I want to. Like that home, and for my area, wouldn't really be, I might just take a sold listing of mine. I might create a listing on ChatGPT, whatever. So I got like that image, and notice how the social media share image changes. The image on the postcards will change. So now when I go to marketing tools, so real quickly about the marketing tools, I'm not a big fan of doing ads for FSBOs, just because I don't, it's just, for FSBOs, It's just more, it's one-to-one. So I'm not doing a Facebook ad. Would I do a Google ad? I might. It's not, that might be a third tier thing for me. I would go, there's other things I would do on Google before going after FSBOs. Because again, my bread and butter is to list homes, not to, right, be a FSBO enabler. But when somebody is FSBO, they've made the decision, they are a FSBO. Now I want to be able to help them out. All right. Because again, I know the averages, right? The percentages are 90% are going to list with an agent. All right. The ones that end up do selling. So knowing that, all right, I do want to participate. I do want to engage with them, but I don't want to go upstream and start becoming like the guy FSBO start bothering. All right. I don't want to get involved with that. Doing Google, doing Facebook ads, doing a social media post to all of my socials, not really. But the tools, for example, the e-flyer. So if I do, I can, for example, I can take this email and I can drop it into Lofty, save it as a template. I can drop it into Constant Contact. I can drop it into Follow Up Boss, save it as a template. And so every FSBO, I'm going to send this e-flyer to them. And I'm going to send a test e-flyer. So I'm going to send that to myself and we're going to take a quick look at it. But there we go. So here's that e-flyer. So what you want to do is grab this e-flyer, add it to your CRM, and you can even drop this into Gmail as a template, right? Hopefully you all know how, if you don't know how to do a template in Gmail, just use ChatGPT and say, how do I create a template in Gmail? It is so easy. I just learned it myself for a few years ago for the first time after God knows how long on Gmail. And it's one of my favorite tools. Having the templates for these kinds of things is just absolutely awesome because now when I've got something I need to send out on a regular basis, right? Could I use a CRM? Of course I could, but Gmail is easy as well. And check this out. They clicked the e-flyer and the landing page opened up on my other monitor. That's where my Gmail is open. And look at that. Open house hosting is right there. This is just absolutely awesome. Can you please tell Brian's full name, please? Thanks. Brian McKay. Let's see here real quickly. I'll bring his comment back up again. Or actually just look up Living Baton Rouge. So if you look him up on Living Baton Rouge, you'll find him. All right. To copy this into your CRM, you can either just copy code. We have a few different versions and put it into your CRM, or it's just as easy. Inside of the editor here, select all copy, and just go to your CRM and drop it in, and it'll be perfect. The print flyers. I love the print flyers. So again, here I'm going to download as a PDF or JPEG and download the print flyer again. All right, notice the background image changed. The background up there changed to the new background on the landing page I uploaded. Ooh, I'll have to check on the formatting, but we got open house hosting. All right, we got the keyword, the domain, we got the image. And again, I could change the image and that will appear, and boom, right from the print flyer. Let's see this one here. Download that one. Let's see if that one. Yeah, there we go. All right, that one's, yeah, perfect. Okay, so that one, I'll check on the middle one because we're going sideways. But yeah, that one looks awesome. Open house hosting. See that right there? Everything updates based on what I do in the editor. So I like the print flyer. We got postcards. Again, notice the postcard there. Download. We got standard. Now, you're not going to use EDDM for sale by owner, obviously. We got front side and back side. So for the front side, pop it up. There we go. Baton Rouge, FSBO selling tools. And it just doesn't that just make you look like a FSBO expert? When you have a domain like that, you look like a FSBO expert. What other agent has a domain like this, right? No other agents are doing this kind of stuff, right? That's gorgeous. right? It's not very clear. I get it, but hopefully you can see my screen. Oh, I just had it. Boom, whatever. You get the idea. That's the landing page off of the QR code. And not only does that domain look awesome, but it's super easy for someone to go to, because some people, they still don't know how to scan a QR code, right? They don't know how to scan a QR code. So putting that domain in there, they can just type in the domain because it's super easy. And then what I would do, whether it's a print flyer, the postcard, the door hanger, where I got the door hanger is awesome, is if you're going to deliver this stuff or mail it or door knock or door drop, what I would do is make sure I call them after they should have received it. I would call them up and say, hi, Brian, this is Scott Pierce at XYZ Realty. And I dropped off a flyer for you to request a free set of marketing tools, the exact same ones that I use to sell homes in the area. And I just wanted to make sure you got that and see if you have any questions. Again, I didn't say anything about selling their home. I didn't say anything about I've got a buyer. They know all those tricks. I would say though, if you do have buyers for the area, I still love that idea. And then that could be a great way to get over and meet them as well. Just say, call them up. Hey, Brian, this is Scott. And I see that you're selling your home as a for sale by owner. Congratulations. Good luck with that. I work with buyers looking for homes in the area. And I promise you, I am not trying to list your home. I am just trying to find my buyers a home for them to buy. All right. Do you have time for me to come over for a few minutes? And then I would also, again, make sure I confirm, right? Are you going to be paying, will you be paying 2.5%? Because now if I'm talking about a buyer, that I'm looking at your property as a buyer or for a buyer, I'm not going to do that if you're not paying 2.5%. All right. So there's a number of different ways. In fact, Miriam, how do you approach FSBOs? What is your approach to selling FSBOs? Oh, geez. We got a lot of questions here. How do you adjust the size of the copy code? I think you did this once before. How do you adjust the size? You shouldn't need to, right? So when I go to, for example, the e-flyer for your database, and I do copy code, right? Copy with signature or copy with follow-up boss, right? So that copies it. And I'll open up my editor. So just simulate the idea of doing this. Again, this could be Lofty. This could be follow-up boss. This could be whatever. So I'm going to create an email blast or template, and I would call this free FSBO home selling tools. Next. And again, I could just copy and paste the email itself, or I could do the copy code version. If you do copy code, there's an extra step, and that is to make sure in the editor here on the top, you're going to click where it says either source code or HTML code, right? Every editor almost has it. So you click it, everything goes gray, you paste it in, and boom, you're good to go. Just like that. Is there a way to integrate the landing pages or QR codes inside our website? Jeff, great question. Yes. So when we are back in fact, I'll show you something. So here's the embed code. If I could take that embed code, I could go to my blog, and very similar to what we just did with the email, add new. And then I think in WordPress, you go text, and it's giving me, let's see. I think when you actually, I might do free FSBO home selling tools. I believe that's actually going to look just right when I go live. Yeah, there we go. Now, notice it's not long enough. So what I would do, and if you can always ask your support at your website if you need to, the height value, right, is 500. I'm going to change that to 1,000. Update. And then view. And still not big enough. All right, do it again. So For those of you who are just going, what the hell are you doing? I'll be done here in a second. I'll go to 2000. Let's see if that's good enough. There we go. All right, perfect. Now, if your website is wider, then it wouldn't have to be so long. My WordPress is a little bit more narrow, but if your website container was wider, then you wouldn't have to go so long. All right. Does that help you out, Jeff? Does that make sense? Yes, we are recording this. This will be on our YouTube channel, which I'll show you a little bit later. But Miriam says, very similar to this process, I reach out and ask them if I can market their property on my marketing platforms. They ask me why I would do this. I tell them it's to build, you know what? Fabulous. I love it. Now, I don't, can everybody do that? Is there anybody on this call where you can't do that? Because I'm with Miriam 100%. It helps you build your brand and nobody else is doing it. I've never, so Miriam, good for you. I have never seen a real estate Instagram or TikTok or whatever talking about a FSBO. All right. So yeah, congratulations. That's absolutely awesome. And I work with a very large base of buyers that, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we want to generate buyer leads. All right. Maybe we got a buyer's agent that we refer them to. When we got buyers and then we are going into a listing appointment, we're going to talk to a FSBO, we're talking to an expired, to be able to say that we got a database of buyers is so powerful. All right. Now we don't want to waste our time in becoming a taxi service for all of these buyers. So we want to make sure that we got a very good process of working with buyers. But yeah, that's awesome. Miriam, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. If a FSBO begin to be a bugaboo and starts to continuously cause tons of questions, how would you handle that? They want you to help every step of the way. Karen, that gets, you're like me. All right. I am going to overanalyze and I'm going to go to the worst case scenario as quickly as possible. That's just my nature. But I don't think that's anything you need to worry about too much. I've never heard from any clients. I've never in 14 years. All right. I've never had a client come back and tell me, oh my God, I did a FSBO and they were just crazy. And that could be, and maybe again, maybe you use Miriam's idea, which I absolutely love, where maybe the first thing you do, now there's a number of ways, right? There's so many ways that you can approach the FSBO. I like her idea because I'm going to be able to find out really quickly where their head is at. What kind of person is this? Is this going to be a needy person? Is this going to be somebody that's rude? Are they nuts? Sometimes these people are a little bit nuts. Whether I approach them with the idea of, hey, do you mind if I market your property on my social medias? I didn't want to do it without asking your permission. I've got 450 followers on Instagram and I've got an email list of 455 people, whatever it is. Maybe you've got more, maybe you've got less. Don't be ashamed. 150 people, right? 93 people is more than what they had this morning. And it's probably more than what they've got. Approaching them, can I market your home to my audience? I see you're selling your home as FSBO. I work with buyers in the area and I would love to come by for a quick tour of your home. I promise you, I'm not going to try to list your home. I'm just trying to find homes for my buyers, right? That could be another way to approach them before we establish a relationship with them. Because again, I'm with you. I don't want to waste time on somebody that's a hoarder, that's screwy in the head. All right. Or that's just really super difficult. Make sense? Duh, duh, duh. Did we get kicked out? Did what? Did we get kicked? Thanks again for great marketing. Man, what do you mean? Did we get kicked out? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I see for sale by some of them developer builders. We do send them the marketing kit. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Not all developers have their own salespeople, especially the small ones. In fact, I got a client this morning hit me up and I got to ask him how he got a hold of it. But he goes, can we meet later today? Because I've got 5. I got 5 new constructions coming on the market. And I was like, yeah, dude, let me know when. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I can't wait to talk with him and find out how John Summers, the guy on our website, I can't wait to find out how he got a hold of these FSBOs. But okay, so here's the deal. We went through the landing page. Awesome. We got 2 more things to get through quickly. And the second thing are the PDF guides. Not all FSBOs are going to reach out to us right away. Not all FSBOs are going to respond right away. So the FSBO PDF guide can be another great. If I go to PDF guides and type in FSBO, this is just a touch point. All right. Just a touch point. If I click on marketing tools, again, I can download the guide in English or Spanish. And the FSBO PDF guide, it's just a nice PDF guide that gives them some pointers, right? Again, adds value, all branded to you, your colors, your logos. All right. Everything is branded to you. So just nice, easy to, again, I just want to set myself up as a enabler, a junior partner. Again, we got e-flyers for the PDF guide. So again, I can take this, drop it into Lofty, drop it into Follow Up Boss, drop it into Constant Contact, drop it into Gmail. We got a print flyer for the PDF guide as well that I could deliver to them. We got the postcards and door hangers that I could put as part of a postcard campaign. If I'm doing a campaign to FSBOs, this would be something I'd want to do, add to that campaign, right? There'd be the QR code automatically goes to the PDF guide. And if I'm using something like Thanks.io or Mailbox Power, I could even do a dynamic QR code and actually a dynamic image on the front of the postcard. That's a little bit above my scope of training, but those, just to let you know, for those of you using those programs or looking for a postcard provider, those are pretty useful, right? To be able to have a QR code that is dynamic, because what that means is when the homeowner scans it, even if they don't fill out the landing page, I know who scanned it. And I'm going to get a notification telling me, oh, Carla scanned your QR code. And hopefully a minute or two later, I get the notification that she actually filled out the landing page. But even if she didn't, just her action of scanning the QR code will alert me. And again, that would be Thanks.io has that capability. Mailbox Power has that capability. And there might be some other postcard providers that do as well. All right. Now, one of my favorite things, 2 more, those listing presentations that we have? So there we go. Look, for sale by owner. All right. So this guy, Brian McKay, he's excited. He's happy. I gave him the tools to market his home with. And I didn't click that right away. I should have clicked it right away. But in about a minute or two, the flip book and the PDF guide are going to be ready for me. And it's going to have Brian's name on the cover. It's going to have his address on the cover, his home throughout. I can create these myself. So I can add a FSBO listing to my account as well on my own. But let's give it a quick minute here. Any questions while I'm waiting for this to cycle through? Yeah, the big companies, for a while they were selling as FSBO essentially. They were making it pretty hard to work with agents because they had their own salespeople. But I'm telling you, we do a webinar every so often on new construction. I think like once or twice a month we do new construction. We have had clients secure great relationships with builders, showcasing our tools and our platform to the builder to show them that they can handle the marketing and all the marketing for that builder. Now, of course, you're not going to get KB Homes. You're not going to get Lanier, right? But there's a lot of smaller ones, right? There's a lot of smaller builders in your area, and approaching them. In fact, if you go to listingstoleads.com/new construction, you're going to see our new construction write-up on that. All right. So let me see. Let me refresh this. Normally this should just take a minute or two. Let's see if that's going to pop. My agent friend did that exactly. Yeah. Here, I'll show you. If I go to listings to leads, and if I type in new construction, all right, we got some landing pages, the video walkthrough of all of it. Step 1, identify new construction. Step 2, gather information. Step 3, marketing specific units, just like they were a listing of yours. Talking about adding the listing, marketing the entire community through landing pages. Again, the landing page examples. Let's see, sometimes I don't. So this could be like, for example, a new construction development talking about special financing if signed by November 30th. I'll update that so it's working, counting down properly. Here's another one, right? Talking about incentives, where I'm able to highlight available incentives with a countdown clock, which is awesome. I've got another one. So this could be a specific unit where I got a landing page. But again, if it's a specific property, I might just add, I would likely add it to my account. And then I've got here another one where I've just got the video to the side and I've got an image of one of the homes as the background. Step 4, building relationships with builders, developers for listing opportunities. And then step 5 is partner with them, where you become their marketing arm. Now, coming out of the gate, hey, can I be your partner? Hey, if you got the ability to do that, go for it. But you might want to start with just marketing their properties, bringing them some buyers, impressing them with your marketing prowess, and then ask for some money, right? Say, do it for a little while and maybe go back to them and say, hey, you know what? I would love to spend more money, right? I'm generating leads and we've got the custom questions where you can, in the Facebook ad, have custom questions relating to new construction. And then, yeah, just work with them. And after a couple of months, man, become their partner, not a partner in their stuff, but like their marketing partner. All right. So here's that FSBO. So here's the flip book and I got the downloadable PDF. All right. So here's the deal. I would share this with the FSBO at some point. And again, initially, and you're going to have to play by ear because it's always going to be a little bit different. I would share this with the FSBO homeowner at some point and just say, hey, I want to make sure I give you a marketing overview. I might frame it that way. I want to give you a marketing overview so you can see how all of this works. And you may do this right after you give them the tools, or you may do it like a week or two later. And that way they can see, again, all of this kind of how it works together. There is a downloadable presentation that you could, if you wanted to, right? You can download the PDF and print it up, right? Something like this right here where I printed up because it's got their home all the way throughout it. Do you think anybody else is doing that? Is there anybody else in your market that would deliver, whether it's via email or text message, or you print it and you mail it or drop it off, a presentation that features their home all the way throughout? Probably not. Probably not. Look at that. The domain, boom. Beautiful. Just absolutely nuts. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is you might have some FSBOs that have been on the market for a while, like 90 days, 120 days. And the last thing I'm going to walk through is adding their home manually. So we saw how you can add a home through the landing page. All right. So I can go to the landing page as a homeowner, or even as an agent if I wanted to, and add it that way. But I can also go add listing, manual, and just like I can do for a listing presentation, just like I can do for canceled, just like I can do for expired, I can also do for sale by owner. And I can put the FSBO name, right? John, I know I didn't spell that. Put in the information, right? Street address, city, state, zip code. I don't need to add anything else if I don't want to. Although if it's FSBO and you see it's listed for, I don't know, $659, just whatever, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, right? It wouldn't hurt because the idea is to list it. Now you've got it all there ahead of time, right? Throw in the property description that they've got from Zillow or whatever where you found them, right? Add the photos on the next page, and you're going to get the flip book. You're going to get the presentation. And I might approach those people that have been on the market for a while, call them up, right? Feel them out. Maybe to Miriam's point, Just say, hey, I see that your home has been on the market for 120 days, and average days on market is 76. I'd love to, if you're up for it, I work with a lot of buyers in the area. I would love to market your home on my socials and to my database of buyers and see if we can find somebody for you. And they say yes to that. And then you're going to ask, just want to confirm, are you paying 2.5% to the agent that brings you a buyer that closes on your property? Do you want to make sure that I'm going to get paid? And then just feel them out, because they may tell you, you might even ask them, how is it going? Have you had any offers yet on the home? Have any offers fallen through? Are the buyers ghosting you? Or, are you getting hit up by investors who are just lowballing the heck out of you? Right? Have a conversation with them. Again, offer the idea of marketing their home to your audiences. If you're able to do that, offer them the free set of marketing tools. You can offer it via text, via email, via phone, via print flyer, via e-flyer. There's so many ways to do it. Can you use actual home picture from the MLS? Creating the listing. 1 second there before I get to that one. With SM content, social media content, if we can create a post, scheduled post, or see drafts that are saved. Brenda, I think so. Yeah. So for example, I'm not like for what Brenda. So what are you trying to post? And hey, dude, Rom, is it Rom? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Rom, I sent you an email this morning for your expired presentation. So make sure you check out the email from me. Just look up my email, Scott@ListingsToLeads. But I emailed you maybe a couple hours ago. So yeah, check for that. But if you're referring to going after the FSBO, yeah, I think so. Let me back up. Because I don't want to get you into trouble. I know people that do, right? Because I'm not taking your home and marketing without your permission. I'm just creating an offer for you, right? To either market your home or to create the presentation from. All right. So yeah, hopefully that'll answer the question. Yeah. All right. And then Brenda, yeah, let me know a little bit more what you mean by that. With social media content, if we create a post and you see scheduled posts or see drafts that are saved, I want to say yes, but you might want to ask support specifically for more information on that. Or get to the mastermind group. I love kind of stuff in the mastermind group. I love sharing in the mastermind group because here's what it does. Even better than support sometimes, not always, sometimes, we can get more ideas, right? So you can post what you're wanting to do. Then maybe some other people come in with another way of doing it. And you can also do both. You could ask support and the mastermind group. So anyways, yeah. Are we good? Anything else I can help you with? FSBOs, absolutely awesome. I would definitely make them a part of my listing strategy. We want to do it from a place of value, right? Whether we offer them a free set of marketing tools, we offer to market to our audiences, we offer an open house, right? There's a lot of things that we can offer them. And I would also, I do like the idea of trying to get in to do a quick little tour of the property. For example, if they say yes to being able to market to my audiences, I might say, and again, I'm always going to say, I promise you, I'm not trying to list your home or sell your home and get you to list with me. I just work with buyers and I got to find them a home. That's half of my job. Half of my job is to list homes, but I also have buyers that I need to work, that I am working with. Make sure that they feel comfortable, because if they don't feel comfortable with you, they're not going to allow you to do much of anything. And then, so if they allow me to market their home, I might ask if I can come over and take a couple of pictures. I see you got some pictures up on Facebook or Craigslist and they're fine. But as a real estate agent, there's a few pictures I'd like to make sure that I get that I know people like to see. And I would like to do a quick little video, maybe in front of the house or in the backyard, or if you're open to it, a quick little walkthrough for my Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, right? So there's a lot of great ways to offer value. What is your email? Scott, SCOTT @listingstoleads.com. But for support, it'd be support. Don't email me support things, because I'll just tell you to go to support. You don't want me involved in your support issues. I promise you. All right. All right. We good? Do you guys love it? All right. Are we good? Give me a yes. And last thing I'm going to mention before we all take off is your affiliate link. I love it when you're using them. A couple times a week, somebody will sign up and they'll say how they heard about us and they'll say an agent's name, but they didn't use the agent's affiliate link. So just click affiliate link. I think you're going to add like a PayPal email because we pay the same day we get paid, 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. So if we get paid on the 23rd, you get paid on the 23rd. You can copy the link right there and share it. We've got marketing invites. So we got emails, social media posts. All right. Print flyers. So if you're doing like, for example, a lunch and learn or a office training and your office does not have an office account, we do have office accounts and team accounts. But if they don't, for example, you could share your agent affiliate link in your office doing an office training. And I think what, like 7 people signing up on your affiliate link, your account is free. So absolutely fabulous. All right. Thank you. All right. Good job. Awesome. All right, everybody. Super. Super, super, super. All right, get at it. And hey, don't forget to join our expired classes. All right, don't forget to join our expired classes. I'm going to post it in the mastermind group a little bit later for next week. Get on them. I'm telling you, it's the best thing since sliced bread. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Love you all. And we'll talk soon. Take care.